You're now listening to the Pitchside Peregrines Podcast, your home for all things Athletic Club Boise.
All right, everybody, quick word from our sponsor, KJO Insurance. Look, being forced to rely on a GoFundMe might suck, but knowing you have a life insurance policy waiting for your family if anything happens, that doesn't suck. KJO makes it simple and affordable. Please DM at KJO Insurance with Pitchside or call 208-883-4800.
Welcome into this week's episode of Scouting Our Prey, where I will be breaking down the Chattanooga Red Wolves, Athletic Club Boise's next opponent in the USL 1 campaign. If you're watching on video, you'll obviously realize that Kyle is not here today, and we kind of have a new layout. That is because Kyle is hopefully welcoming in the life of his new daughter in the next day or so. So he is beginning his time away. So for the foreseeable future, you're stuck with me on these breakdowns. We may have some guest appearances, maybe some fans joining me for some episode recordings. We're still kind of figuring that out for the month of May. But at the moment, you're stuck with me. So really excited to break down the Chattanooga Red Wolves, some of their key players, a little bit of history behind the club, and kind of take a deep dive into the games they've played. So starting off, they do play in the CHI Memorial Stadium in Chattanooga. It does have about 5,500 total capacity. I have a quick video here that kind of shows what the stadium looks like. So let's check it out. It kind of gives a little brother to Athletic Club Boise Stadium. Kind of has obviously seats on both sides and has that atmosphere that is great. It does have maybe a hospitality suite and things like that. They have been averaging only 1,200 people per game for this season so far, be it they've only played 3 home games. So take that with a grain of salt, but definitely not packing the house like Athletic Club Boise has been. Their first season was in 2019. As you can see here. Nope, you don't see that here. The first season was in 2019, and they've kind of been a seesaw team where they either make the playoffs and go decently far, or they don't make the playoffs at all. They haven't been really consistent in one or the other, like other teams you've broken down so far this season. So really interested to see what the Red Wolves are this year. It is kind of a interesting team to break down because they've only played 3 USL 1 league matches just due to their early scheduling. They've only played the Greensville Triumph, AV Alta, and Fort Wayne FC. Their Tormenta FC match obviously got canceled. They do have a match against Corpus Christi in the USL Cup, and they have lost that. But currently they sit at a USL record of 1-1-1, so pretty neutral. Obviously only 4 points out of a total 9 puts them in 13th place right now in the USL table. Their head coach is Scott McKenzie, who is an English lad. He was the 2025 Coach of the Year for USL League One, so definitely someone that has a pedigree of being able to coach teams and get the most out of his players. So we'll see if they can continue to produce great players and great products on the pitch. Last year they were second in the entire league, so that would be the reason as to why they got such honors. As mentioned, yeah, the team is 1-1-1. They've kind of been, it's been a mixed bag. They've lost to teams who maybe they should have beaten. They've beaten teams that are now more in form. They lost to a non-league side, Tennessee Tempo, in the U.S. Open Cup. So definitely seems like another ripe for the picking match for Athletic Club Boise, who currently sits in 5th, as you can see here in the player table, or in the team table, excuse me. Our closest, I guess, only shared opponent currently is AV Alta FC, where they also had a 2-2 draw. AV Alta did have a red card in that match, but did score to make the event a draw. So Chattanooga did lose. We're up 2-1 at that time. So gave up a goal, a man down, which is never ideal for a team to do that. XG wise, all the events are pretty accurate. There's no maybe major screamers one way or the other. If they've lost a match, it seems like it was pretty close to a loss. If they've won, it was pretty close to a win in XG. Now to maybe their outstanding players. First off, we have Omar Hernandez. midfielder number 7 for the club. He has spent every year of his professional career with the Red Wolves, starting back in 2024 through 2026. So far, he has 2 goals and 2 assists in 5 matches, playing just under 340 minutes. He, as a whole, last year had 41 games, 8 goals, and 4 assists. And he's currently averaging right around, or last year averaging a 7.05 rating, as you can see here, a 7.38 rating this season so far, and definitely someone who stands out as a potential threat in the midfield for Athletic Club Boise's defense, who so far has been doing a great job at locking down threats or at least limiting chances, as they have done against Westchester and along with Las Vegas Lights clash last weekend. Next up, we're looking at Grayson Mercer. Grayson is a forward striker, whatever kind of pseudo player he is. Again, has only spent time with the club of the Chattanooga Red Wolves for his career, so just loves Chattanooga, I'm assuming. So far this year, 3 appearances and started in all 3 matches, playing almost a full match each game. Does have this 1 goal, and just seems like a threat in the box. Just with the lack of total matches, we're kind of just assuming and looking at who has scored in previous matches and who is someone to keep our eyes out. And obviously, we need to always keep our eyes out for their strikers, just to let Jake Dengler and the defense know who they're going up against. The final big name that I want to focus on is maybe someone who doesn't scream off the page as a threat, but that is Toby Adewale. I'm just guessing. Toby, maybe just looking at his sofa score, isn't screaming off the page, but it's his, I guess, portfolio of performances. He's played all over the place. He's played in Pittsburgh. He's played in St. Louis, Indianapolis, Phoenix, Colorado, the Charlotte, Westchester, and he's kind of just been a road warrior with all these different teams. Definitely a defensive center back and kind of a stone in the defense for the Red Wolves this season. So, really interested to see what kind of player he is on Saturday against Athletic Club Boise, and just interested to see how Dennis, Thomas, and the likes of our attacking platoon holds up against a Toby Adewale. The major loss that Chattanooga had from last year this year is Declan Waiters. We have played Declan and we highlighted him when we looked at the Sarasota Paradise for the first match in Athletic Club Boise history. He was all team USL last year, first team USL 1, and so far 8 appearances, 0 goals, 0 assists this season. But obviously, last season with the Red Wolves was a major piece in that defensive right back role, and is definitely something the Red Wolves are missing this season. So, with that, we thought, me, Elias, thought it would be fun to just show you kind of what we look at when we are looking at comparing these two teams side by side. As you can see, these SOFA score ratings 6.8 for Boise, 6.67 for Chattanooga. Again, all really due to the match played total, where they have 2 less total matches played. I think the big one, obviously, we take again, they're averaging, maybe these average per game totals are a better way to look, but Boise is averaging more goals per game, more shots per game, more big chances per game. Chattanooga is averaging less big chances missed per game, but that is probably just, again, due to a total lack of games played and chances created. You can't miss chances you don't create. So that's something to keep an eye out for. Chattanooga, based on their USL performances so far, are not a team who love possession. As you can see here, Boise again averaging over 50% possession of the ball. Chattanooga averaging just over 35% possession. And this is even more obvious in their passing, accurate passes per game statistic, where Boise is averaging, again, over 400 accurate passes at 85% accuracy, while Chattanooga is averaging 160 passes with a 66% accuracy. They're just not much of ball distributors and not much of a team who likes to hold possession. They more like to take advantage of a counterattack or just press, and not kind of how we've gotten used to Athletic Club Boise playing out the back and these past center back passes and back and forth, and then trying to find a wing back to carry the ball up. Other statistics, Chattanooga has not had a clean sheet so far this season, so that is something that is ripe for the picking for Athletic Club Boise to take advantage of. Just given Dennis's hot streak and getting a game of rest that he wasn't playing against the Las Vegas Lights, this could be a opportunity for him to come back into the starting lineup and take advantage of Chattanooga and all that they have to offer. Goals conceded pretty close. 1.3 for Chattanooga, 1.2 for Boise. I'd call that a wash. Chattanooga does like to tackle, and again, 13 tackles per game to Boise's 10. They do average more saves per game, but I don't know if that's just not how Athletic Club Boise's been playing recently. I feel like we continue to talk about Leeds and Everton, but Leeds plays a type of soccer football that they try and just play so defensively sound that shots aren't even able to be saved because shots aren't able to be taken. And it seems like Athletic Club Boise is kind of fitting that mold where if we can give Jonathan, Joseph, or Javi, force them to make one or two big saves a game, that's all that's needed out of them. But if we could get it to where they only are seeing or needing to make a save 0, 1, 1.5 times, whatever it looks like per game, that'd probably be preferred for the team just to avoid any issues. Chattanooga's yellow card history is not great. They're averaging over 4 yellow cards per game, which is something that we need to whoever, if you listen to this podcast, I love you guys who have the yellow and red cards out in the family section of the stadium. You will be very busy if history continues to show that Chattanooga loves to be penalized for whatever it is, be it dirty tackles or misdemeanor, or I guess whatever it is. So definitely something we will love to see and to get to use those yellow cards as much as possible. And that is maybe just a quick dive into Chattanooga. They definitely are a team that there's not a bunch. They are the team who's played the least games in the USL so far, with only 3 league matches. So it's kind of a tricky team to get a read on holistically. But overall, I think it is a team that Athletic Club Boise in this home environment can try to ride this wave of momentum from the 4-0 whomping of Westchester to the 1-1 draw victory after pens against the Las Vegas Lights. Chattanooga is a great continuation team to try and build our way up and solidify ourselves in the top 3, top 4 of the division. Just due to right now, we only have 5 games played to Union's 6, Spokane 6, and 1 Knox and FC Naples playing 7 each. So that is a look into the Chattanooga Red Wolves. Right after this ad break, we'll give you my score predictions along with Kyle's texted in score predictions and maybe a look into what the starting 11 could look like.
Real talk. You're already paying for insurance. Question is, are you overpaying? KJO Insurance covers Idaho and the Pacific Northwest, and they'll shop around to get you the best coverage for less. As you can see on their website, they have plenty of options for coverage. So please DM at KJO Insurance on Instagram with keyword pitchside, or call 208-833-4800 and tell them Elias and Kyle sent you. Now back to today's episode.
Welcome back from the ad break. As mentioned before that, I'm here to kind of give a breakdown as to what we see the starting 11 looking like for Saturday's match against the Chattanooga Red Wolves. I've pulled up here on the screen our last league match starting 11 that could be used as maybe a chart, along with I'll pull up the Las Vegas Lights starting 11 and we can kind of compare these two. I think the big ones we need to look for and just see is the health of Blake Bodley and Nick Moon, and see if it was preventative maintenance for the Las Vegas Lights and not including them in the starting 11, or if it truly is maybe a long-term or potential multi-week injury for both of them to keep them out long-term. As you mentioned on that post-match episode, it definitely could be seen that they weren't playing, and just that kind of the progression of the ball looked a little differently in this game against Las Vegas. Maybe that's just due to Jonathan Ricketts and Keegan Euler just again getting up to speed into this new role, and the team getting used to what they look like profile wise compared to a Nick Moon and a Blake Bodley. But if we use this in a combination with the Westchester starting 11, I think I see this is a 3-4-3, whatever it ends up being, a 3-4-2-1. I think I see Dennis and Toomey starting up front with, I think, Among or Omar starting, maybe Luan. I guess all three of those players are deserving of a starting role in the striker position. I don't think we're going to see two strikers playing up front in this game. I just don't think Among and Brito really played well off each other in that match against Las Vegas, and be it that was Las Vegas defending them well, or maybe it just, again, getting used to how to play off of one another. I don't see that being in the cards for Saturday's match against Chattanooga. So I think the front three for me would be Moshaban, Dennis, and Among. But I guess we'll see. We don't have insight. Coach Miller doesn't text us the starting 11 as much as I'd love for him to. The back three, I think, is completely dependent on if Jonathan Ricketts is playing in this right wing back role or not. If Jonathan Ricketts is playing in that right wing back role, I would see Musa fitting into that right center back. I would see, again, if Blake is fit, Blake playing in the left wing back role. If not, if Nick Moon is fit and Blake Bodley is hurt, I could see Ricketts playing out of position off the left side. I could also see Keegan Euler starting and having Ricketts come on at halftime, or maybe even Musa playing in this defensive midfield role for a Charlie Adams or Phillip, and have Jonathan Ricketts playing in that right center back. So there's definitely a lot of moving parts that could happen with Saturday's affair against Chattanooga, and I guess we'll kind of wait and see. I think the for sure's are Jonathan Kluwer, Jake Dengler, Jake Kroll, Dennis. I think Toomey's a shoo-in at this point. I don't think he's done anything to lose it, barring an injury. And I think those are the only six that I can confidently say. I would assume a pair of Charlie Adams, Philip Mayaka could be starting, but I could also see, again, just due to injuries, having to shake it up a little bit and putting Musa in that defensive midfield. But we'll see on Saturday. Really looking forward to it. I assume Kyle is just trusting me in this, and he fully agrees with what I'm saying in regards to the starting lineup. So with that, we do have our running total, or running competition that Kyle and I are doing. And I've texted him, and he's given me his prediction for today's game. He is going with a 3-1 final score to Athletic Club Boise, with Thomas being the first goal scorer for the team. So I'm assuming with that, Kyle is assuming that Thomas would be starting. For myself, I see it being little less scoring. I think I see a 2-0 final score for Athletic Club Boise, another clean sheet and another defensive masterclass by the back three, with Toomey being my first goal scorer. We're really excited to be back in town. We have a very busy May coming up in the schedule, so I would not be surprised if come mid-May we see a lot more defense, or a lot more rotations in general for the team, just to save our legs. But given this is a normal match week with a week-long break, I could see us suiting up in a normal normal formation that we're used to seeing with the normal starting 11. So we're really looking forward to seeing you all. My wife will be attending and will be joining the mic for our post-match breakdown. She'll be giving us the best tactical analysis, way better than Kyle and I could ever imagine giving you all. So we're looking forward to that. We're looking forward to the month ahead of, hopefully you don't get tired of me talking, and hopefully I don't lose my voice from talking too much. And yeah, we'll see if we can fit in some of you, the fans, into the podcast in some way possible. So we're looking forward to it. On that note, this is Elias signing off for this week's Scouting Our Prey episode, and we look forward to what the result is on Saturday. That's all for today's episode. If you enjoy the show, make sure to like, comment, share with a friend, and make sure you're following the show wherever you listen. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube for all updates and future content to come. If you want to help support the pod and get access to exclusive content, early episodes, and bonus perks, head over and check out our Patreon. It truly helps us keep this thing growing. Thanks again for listening. Thanks for being part of the community, and we'll catch you in the next one.